First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. Just want to pull that up there. That is a live shot of Portland. And yes, there are clouds here, so that kind of looks normal now compared to the nice sun that we've been having. But you can find out more about that at kptv.com. And thank you for joining us. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. We're live streaming here from the newsroom. So if you see action in the background or hear people talking, that is those are my coworkers working. But I'm here with you. And again, live streaming across all of our different platforms. And we cover a wide range of topics, but you probably already see the name there on the lower thread, and that's who you're here to hear from. And that is Eugene Mirman, who's going to be coming here to Portland, to the Aladdin Theater, coming up here in, gosh, just a few weeks, actually. And Eugene, thanks for joining us here on Fox 12 Now. I really appreciate it. And, I know you've been to Portland many times before, but when was the last time you were actually here?
I don't know, but I feel like it was like a while ago, like maybe 7 years ago, plus or minus 7 or 8. I would come normally every year for years. And then probably I don't think I've been since around 2017 or 18.
And then the pandemic just kind of throws everything off to you.
Yes, it's true that kind of cuts out so many years. So maybe I was there a few weeks ago and I don't remember.
Yeah, sense of time is just completely off. I was trying to figure that out the other day. I'm like, I don't know, it could have been 2012 or 2021. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But you are coming back here to the Aladdin, and I wanted to talk to you just about touring around it and doing that and going out to all of these different places, and performing for all of these different crowds. Do you ever change up what you're doing depending on where you're at? Like if you're coming to Portland, do you have like a more of a Portland idea of what you're going to be doing, or versus Alabama or New York?
Any show could end up being different, but mostly what I try to do is largely do material I hadn't done in Portland. So mostly it would be stuff that's, largely not been on an album or TV and largely not done in Portland before. More than like I have an hour of stuff that really appeals to, tattooed people, and then an hour of stuff that really, really appeals to people in cowboy hats somewhere else. For both. I don't know. No, I think generally when I tour, it's mostly that I'm just doing material that largely people in wherever I am hopefully haven't seen.
Nice. And for anybody who hasn't come out to see your performances before, because they could be familiar with you in a number of different ways, which we'll definitely get into that. What is a Eugene Mirman show like for somebody who hasn't been maybe to one of your shows? Maybe a weird question to ask.
Yeah, but it's full of pyrotechnics, clowns eating each other. It's largely, I think, stand-up that's sort of, I guess, like anecdotal, silly, whimsical, maybe. Me holding up pieces of paper to describe things that have happened and explaining them. A lot of jokes and stories, so that sort of thing.
Nice. Well, with all the different things that you do too, including, I have to talk about Bob's Burgers and just being a part of that, and what an incredible run, that this has, and how much it is really registered with so many different people in different walks of life. When that first started really taking off, did you notice the difference in your stand-up crowd, or were people coming to hear you, just hear your voice, and then see the comedy show?
I don't know. I'm sure there's people who are coming because they, heard about me from Bob's and are sort of like, oh, this is if Gene grew up and became a comedian. There's definitely some of that. But yeah, I think that people sort of come from, wherever they, a lot of people maybe heard me on Sirius radio or something. I don't know exactly. I know where I heard of me, but I don't know necessarily where everyone else has.
Are you ever out and, just doing, ordinary things and have somebody recognize your voice right away?
Yes, that happens. This would be a great time to have had a specific story about that, but mostly it happens sometimes. But I'm like, yes. As you could imagine, at the grocery store, somebody will sometimes go, "Are you the person I believe you are?" And I will say, "Yes, I am." And they'll go, "I like your show," and then I will say, "Thank you." And then
there it is.
That's pretty accurate,
and there is the interaction.
Yeah.
For do you have a favorite thing that you do in all of these different categories, whether it's acting or, writing or performing on Bob's Burgers or doing stand-up comedy?
Um,
Is
really
there?
funny about like stand-up comedy is number 9, and I'm doing this to get myself.
I'm knocking it
Uh,
out of the park with this interview, aren't
no,
I?
the truth is I love the variety. So I adore doing Bob's Burgers because we get to also improvise a lot and we get to do it. We record all together, which I think is not that common for cartoons. So
Yeah.
we get to, hear each other and play off each other and try different jokes. So that's super fun. But also stand up is sort of where I started and what I kind of always loved. So I think like, but really I do just such a variety of things that partially the thing I love is the variety.
Yeah, just being able to change it up and move on, have different things that you're being involved in.
And
Um,
also like stand up, like I haven't, been back to Portland in a while. I love traveling. I love seeing the friends in different places. Stand up's brought me to every state in America, and that's been really a joy to me.
do you end up getting time to go out and explore the city when you're, I mean, probably depends, I would imagine, on the tour, but when you're coming to Portland here for this time, are you going to have time to get out and explore things?
I mean, probably not this time though. In the past, I've often gotten to spend many days in Portland. But yeah, I mean, over the years, certainly, over the years, I've gotten to, spend time in many of the cities that I've come back to over and over. But sometimes you just sort of arrive,
Yeah.
I'll be driving from Seattle and then, sound checking, doing the show, and then leaving the next day. So we'll see. I mean, I hope to get to walk around a little bit. I always love to.
Yeah. Yeah. But well, you'll at least get to see the inside of the Aladdin Theater. So that part will be,
Yes, which
that'll be,
I've been to a bunch and do love that theater.
oh yeah, it's great for anybody in Portland who hasn't been there. It's a fantastic theater and a great place to see comedy
Yeah.
too. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, don't come for me, come to see the theater, but
Yes, come
pay
see-
me and stay for the event.
again, I am nailing this interview. So clearly, but people, yeah, could definitely come check you out. Yeah, at the Aladdin coming up. For you, like going to Seattle to Portland and just continuing that tour. What is that like going from city to city like that each night, having someplace different? For most people don't have a job like that where they're touring from a city to a city to a city. Is it just so normal for you that you're just completely used to it, or is it still a little bit
Yeah, I
odd?
mean, it's been most of my life, though I haven't,
Yeah,
the pandemic and a lot of other things haven't been touring nearly as much as I used to, but it was for me, um, like I would go somewhere every week, for years and years and years. So I don't know. I mean, I really enjoy it. If I didn't, it would be
yeah, you still
too
do. Yeah,
to have to do that. Because I love sort of seeing places, and you end up having a lot of friends in different cities that you get to see. So it's nice. So each city has like, often I've spent, several days living in many different cities.
yeah, and meeting new people and having friends in all of those places. That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Well,
Yeah.
September 7th, you will be at Aladdin Theater here
Yeah.
in Portland, and people can go see the theater, and then you will also be there performing, clearly. So Eugene, thank you very much for joining us too. But I want people to know where they can go and find everything that that you're doing. What's the best place to keep track of Eugene Mirman and all the things that you're doing?
CNN.com. No, I don't know. I guess probably my website, Instagram, or my website. For I update tour dates or post photos and videos of things. I think largely that, and also there's a website because I started a record label with some friends and we put out a lot of comedy albums. You can also go to prettygoodfriends.com. And see, the records we put out, Bobcat Goldthwait's last record, and Derek Brown, who's opening for me in Portland, we put out his record of comedy and poetry. So you can check out all those things.
Will you have any of the records for sale at the event?
We might have Derek's for
Nice.
sale. I think the last records I have that are from Sub Pop from my last album, I might have a few of those for sale, but I think they're largely sold out. But yeah, we'll have some. I probably won't bring other comedians' records, but Derek's opening for me, so we'll hopefully have his.
Derek will be allowed. Well, Eugene, thank you very
Yeah.
much, for joining me. I really appreciate it, and you being on here, And obviously, everybody get your tickets there to check out Eugene on September 7th at the Aladdin. And thanks, man. Thanks very much for
Thank
joining
you
us.
so much. Thank you very, very much for having me. And I can't wait to come back.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, man. And for
Bye-bye.
everybody who's watching again, we are live here, but we're going to sign off for right now. So don't forget, you can go to Fox 12 Oregon's YouTube channel. You can watch this again if you want to. Share it. Let everybody know about it. Watch all of our segments too at kptv.com. But I will talk to you soon. Again, I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.